This is Josiah Plays Tyranny. Alright, and we are back. We're at the end of the damn game. Basically, all we have left to do is Final Judgment. We've already gone and killed Graven Ash. We've already gone and killed Voices of Nerat. Now we gotta go see Tunon for one last time. Okay, so, before we do that, we got a couple little things that I kind of feel like doing here in the base. I want to talk to this guy and get our new artifact dagger that we just had crafted. Just in case. It's cool. Gotta talk to Verse and everyone, actually, to see if they have any reactions to the death of Voices of Nerat. Here's our new item, Heart's Blood, and some Ignots. We acquired Heart's Blood. Here's my curiosity. Am I allowed to drop an edict on the Bastard tier? I'm not allowed to drop an edict on the Bastard tier. Okay, well. That answers that question. See what we have here. Heart's Blood. The superior dagger. Extra 40% damage when below 35% health. Heartseeker. Fire a bouncing bolt of energy. Each enemy that is hit takes piercing damage and transfers health to the wielder. Affected foes will also have their might, quickness, and vitality reduced for the remainder of combat. Amount of health transferred scales with Heart's Blood's renown. Oh, we already read this. We read this when we had the thing made in the first place. It's the Super Edgelord dagger. This thing's got her name written all over it. So if I use this instead of... Gentle Touch... Let's see, can I upgrade this thing? Can I UG this thing? Not enough materials to masterwork it. Alright, fine. I UG'd it anyway. There.
Shiny. I like
now
it.
She's wielding 4 different artifact weapons. Oh, look at it. It's kind of got a little bit of a red glow to it. Kind of badass. Kind of BA, one might say. No, one wouldn't say that. I'm not sure if the Bastard tier was put under an edict when the invasion began. Maybe. Why am I carrying around 7 buckets of water? You know what? Let's just not even ask questions like that. Why wouldn't I be? She's got Final Scream, the Mace of Voices of Nerat. Alright, we've done that. Okay. Forgebound Smith, who created Heart's Blood, understands the lust for pain and death. Wielding this magical blade provokes a nigh overwhelming thirst for death. Well, my character doesn't have much use for most of these items. She's a healing and buffing support character. She's got Alchemist Gloves, that's an artifact. She's got, you know, Yoja's Calling. That's not an artifact, but it's a nice item. No, Tunon put those holes in the Bastard City. I read about it in the guidebook, so we were wondering what Tunon's power is. This is what Tunon's power is. He walked into the Hall of Justice, or whatever they call it, the palace, the court. He walked in as they were coming in with the conquering army. The place was all full of the leaders of the city and stuff. He walked in and he tapped his staff once on the ground. Didn't say a word. Throughout the city, whole neighborhoods of the city, whole districts, just vanished into those holes. And half the people in the room with him instantly died. That's what happened when he tapped his staff on the ground once. So that's pretty good power, you know. And it wasn't just random holes. It was specific parts of the city that he targeted. Those were the parts of the city that had the most corruption and, you know, where things were the most lawless or whatever. And he just eliminated those whole parts of town. And presumably everyone that was in them. So, that's what Tunon gets up to on his spare time. Alright, I need to talk to my people. Why didn't he just tap his staff on the ground while you were suspended over the pit and cause the platform to collapse? It's a good question, Saito. I suppose he felt that wouldn't be fair. That he wanted it to be a fair fight, and he wanted to render the judgment through some sort of... I don't know, fuck. Maybe he'd already used his daily power that day. And he was like, ah, shit, need to rest. No camping supplies, damn. I don't know. Alright, let's talk to our peoples. All of our peoples. Let's start with Eb. No, let's start with Verse. We know Verse has something to say. Fatebinder. I never thought that anyone could get the jump on Voices of Nerat. He outlasted most of his enemies and ate the others. He was this great, bottomless thing. I just assumed that he would be around forever. Now he's dead. It's hard to believe, really. I'm happy, but he also gave me this life, this name. I hated him, but he was incredible. An artist. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm impressed. You've exceeded my low expectations. His power was tapped. I see what you did there, Nox. Do you think the Voices is really dead? If we're being honest with each other, I have my doubts. The Voices could scheme 1,000 steps ahead of anyone. I can only imagine that he had something planned for his death. Some contingency. It could be so complex that we might never recognize it if we saw it. It might not even happen in our lifetimes, if we're lucky. I have questions for you.
What do you need?
I lied, I don't, actually. Alright, you got anything new to say?
I trust all is well, Mike. What is it you need?
No? Okay, how about you?
Fatebinder, what do you need?
No? Okay. How about you, buddy?
Greetings, Archon.
No. You? Tell me another story.
Beast Woman is happy. Likes when Fatebinder wins. Likes that Fatebinder slaughtered Alpha of Scarlet Chorus without mercy. Was vicious, cunning, Archon with many voices. Was Alpha of biggest pack. Means Alpha of Kills and Shadow is bigger, better, strongest. Will always win.
It's pretty much true.
Fatebinder wants Beast Woman?
Had any good hunts lately? Let's hear her latest tale of how she got to be level 20 fucking 2.
Good, yep. And many more than 5. Thought would stalk small pack of sages near den place called Burning Library. But sage mystics used coal ink and utterances to confuse Beast Woman. Could not see or track with scent. Lost trail quickly.
Okay, cool story. I think he's still gonna be just like Mopey McMoperson, right? Yeah, he's still being Mopey McMoperson. What if I demonstrate my authority? What the fuck does that even mean? You will respect my authority! Beric does not show any sign of waking up from his numb stupor. The North still has need of its truest son, Beric. At first, Beric shows no sign of waking up from his numb stupor. Then a vibration builds in strength, trembling over his armor with enough force to shake away the worst of the rust, leaving patches of iron clean for the first time. The motion is as slow and laborious as the turning of the stars in the sky, but Beric raises his head.
Fatebinder? I don't know what came over me. How long have I been like this?
I don't know, you've been crying for a while. He brushes off debris from his shoulders and turns his wrists. You have first to thank for this.
Please, don't thank me. The last thing I need or want is a hug from the shambling junk heap.
A weeping shit churro. That is exactly... I'm sure that's in the design document for the companion. When they created him in the first place, that's part of the basic character concept. Weeping shit churro.
All the same, I appreciate it. Had I continued to drown in my sorrow, I might have rusted solid, and never moved again. I am not the man I once was. I don't know how I can ever move beyond the death of the great general. By distancing myself from the Legion and his protection, I suppose I'll have to learn.
Okay.
Welcome back, asshole. You scared me for a second there.
Weeping shit churro.
What can I do for you?
We'll talk later. I just wanted to check in and see what was going on with you. Now I know. Okay. We're gonna do one last look at our spells because we've raised our lore up. One last look at the magics. The magics, I said. Multiple magics. Because it's fun. I mean, it's fun for me. It's probably not fun to watch. Probably lame as shit to watch. More cyclical energies. Vital body. Yes, I believe I would like to have additional range on that. And additional power. Healing aura. Aura. 155. 165. Haste. Mirror image. 160. 170. Knight Brand. Russell Brand? No, not Russell Brand. Asking. 55. 75. Really? Gotta be 2 points over? Fine. Mantle of Flammes. Flammes. It's not Flammes, bud. It's just flames. Flammes. Polish Arms. God, I love Polish Arms. Such a great spell. It's so Polish, you know? 160. 70. Frag weapon is what I am talking about. 160. 170. Alright, what about versus Spectral Blur? It's at 70 out of 80 already. I don't think that's going to get much better. There. And her taunt? You know what I want on her taunt? I want more accuracy, but I can't have it. I want more cyclicalness, but I can't have it. Okay. Storing touch, 75 out of 80 already. Wait, no. 75 out of 80 already. Can I... Yeah. How's your Jaws of the Earth looking? We've made it inhugenized. Inhugenized! That's a great word. That's even better than embiggened. We've definitely embiggened it to the max. Now, how are we going to inhugenize it? Or how are we going to enhancenize it? Or 168. Well, let's strengthify it. Strengthify, Josiah? Yeah, I'm in making up words mode, okay? I'm gonna be making up words for a while. What if I take this and I take this off? Ah, she can't quite do it. Alright, what if I do this and I put this on there? No. I put this on there? No. I put this on there? No, wait, this on there? Yes. What about Electric Jolt? Can we inhugify it more? No, it's already as inhugified as possible. Can we increase the duration of the stun? Yes. Can we make it stronger? No. Can we make it more accurate? No. Can we in recovery sigil it? Yes. In recovery sigil, he says. Fulminate. Can it be inhugified even more? Can. Do like some inhugification. No. As does everyone, I think. As does everyone, I think. How about that thunderstorm? Inhugify. 65. 150. 170. $65. Barrick is like a child. He goes from inconsolable to lackadaisical with a fucking comment. He's like Blaster without Master. I see what you did there. I see you just broke out the third Mad Max movie. Giant boulder. I can't inhugify the boulder, unfortunately. Could make it bounce a whole bunch of times. I don't know how that actually works. Let's put the bounce on it. Let's in lengthify it. In lengthify? Yep. What about my ball lightning? I can make that bounce. Take this off. Yeah, let's make that bounce too. That sounds fun. Icicle Storm. Probably needs to be inhugified. My new favorite word, inhugify. It's like you took the word embiggen and you just took it to the next fucking level. Bouncing Rhyme Spike sounds awesome. 75 and 55. Okay, what about her fireball? What are we doing with that fireball? Bouncing fireball? What? She can't do it, though. Not with max size. Let's get rid of bouncing. Keep max size. And let's just strengthify. 25. 40. Rhyme Spike. Biggened. Strengthened. Scorching Missiles. Now this needs to be ambigified. I can't. I don't have enough. Unfortunate. Still don't have enough. We can do that though. Jaws of the Earth! Can we embiggen this more? No, she doesn't have enough lore for that. Can we indurationify? Yeah, we could, but let's... No, don't have enough to strengthen 8. We can inaccuracy. Inaccuracy? Not to be confused with the actual word inaccuracy, meaning something which is not accurate. This is inaccuracy. I don't know if every single sigil had 3 levels or not. Whatever sigils were at the Burning Library, yeah, I didn't get those. Because it wouldn't let me go there. Because you only get to go 2 places, apparently. Icicle Storm. Get really strong. Flash Fire. Make it really strong. Alright, cool. We're done playing with spells. For the last time in this playthrough. And in my next playthrough, I'm only going to have 2 mages, or 1 mage, so there'll be a lot less playing with spells. Not really, there will still be tons of playing with spells at the games. It's one of my favorite things about this game. Is this spell creation system. It's hella rad, what can I say? I don't think it's so much that they really want you to play it on wildcard, I think it's that they really want you to play it multiple times. And only get to see some of the stuff each time. I think they're hoping that people will play through the game 3 or if not 4 times. It's only 20 to 25 hours long, after all. Yep. 20 to 25 hours, they said. I laugh at that shit. Can we send any more fucking angry letters back and forth with fucking emo edgelord master guy? Alright, let's go. We're going. We're actually gonna go. It's time for the fucking end game, son. And or daughter. She ain't gonna level up again. I might as well not save this point. So in that point, let's just put it into... Might. That might help us a little bit. Well, right now, it hasn't been proven to my satisfaction that that's even true. We have some kind of vague rumors sourced from some kind of vague people talking on the internet that says that maybe you can see all the areas on wildcard. Are you going to commit that point to it? Yes, I am, Nox. I see that you committed yourself to that joke. Alright, we're going to Tunon's Court. Let's go. Now look, we've already been through this dialogue, but it's going to be different this time. But the parts that aren't different, we're going to skip through quickly, because I already went through this whole damn dialogue. If you're watching this series on YouTube, you've already watched that video by now. Unless you're not watching all my videos in order, in which case, what the hell are you doing? Go back. But if you're watching the stream and you didn't see that other stream, well, sorry. I invite you to watch my fine videos series. Brief, too. Really quick. You can watch through them all in a weekend. Okay. Stand before Tunon and his court in the Bastard City and explain your actions in the tiers. Let's just do another... Let's switch to this formation. And let's do another save right here. Lots of saves. You never have too many save files. And what did that say? We're at... like 89 hours, according to this? 88.5 hours. Nice. Secret cow level also gets open on wildcard. Alright, so we've seen this part before.
This decree is not subject to deliberation.
The officers will, what did he say, escort you out? Maybe we'll go ahead and go through the whole fucking thing. Fatebinder, I had assumed you would ignore my court summons as you have in the past, but it would appear that only the threat of criminal punishment spurs you into action. Tunon gestures with his staff to the rest of the court audience. Let us proceed, Fatebinder. This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest. The pleasure is mine, Your Honor.
Your manners do you well. All the same, we are here for justice, not pleasantries.
I wish Tunon was fully voiced through this section. One, so that I wouldn't have to do stupid bottle voice, and also because his voice is pretty awesome.
I first want to make it clear why we've assembled today. After the collapse of Vendrian's Well and the start of the Civil War, it became clear to me that there must have been some great fault on the part of the Archons. We come together to root out the source of our troubles, and determine which of the Archons has sown more chaos during the war.
Well, considering I just murdered the other two Archons, I guess it's probably me. I can point to the culprit and spare us the discussion! Bloodmulch aims the tip of a crude dagger at your heart. This is the scum who brought down the voices! See, this is already new and different. I hope it isn't your intention to arm yourself before a court of peaceful legal representatives, Commander, unless to offer amusement as Bled and Mark flays you for our delight. Callio offers an encouraging smile. He squints at Callio and slowly returns his weapon to its sheath. Tunon turns to aim, which you can only assume is a stern look. He refocuses back onto you with cool stoicism.
Much has happened since I dispatched you on that mission.
Okay, this is different. Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat, the appointed generals of this war, are both dead. You were instructed with bringing justice to the unlawful, but you have clearly taken the law into your own hands. Tunon hovers in thoughtful, accusatory silence. Okay, wait. Slow your roll. I didn't take justice into my own hands, or the law, or whatever you stupid said. No, they came and told me. I got the official message that Cairo said it's last man standing for the Archons. Game on. The puck was fucking dropped. The bell was rung. Those motherfuckers were in the ring. It was a free-for-all, winner take all. I wasn't taking the law into my old hands. Kairos was like, yo, kill each other, motherfuckers. And so I said, okay, I will. What? Alright, hold on. Let's see. I hate this, though. Clear silently. Okay, I feel like this is what Seraphina would say, but I hate this. We've discussed this before, Saito. We've discussed this before. I hate when people say I didn't have a choice. Because you always have a choice. That's like what your whole username is about and everything. You always have a fucking choice, and when people say I didn't have a choice, it really irritates me. It feels like such a stupid cop-out. And yet, it does feel like what my character would say. So I'm gonna say it. I didn't have a choice. The court has no time for your lies. Oh, that's not Tunon talking. Sorry. Fucking voice acting fuck up. The court has no time for your lies. Ah, that is, with your approval, mighty Tunon. Bloodmulch quietly backs down. We were stronger together than you could ever know, and you have taken Ash from us. I won't leave this court until your head is mounted on our standard and presented before the general's funerary rites. Albatronus nods to Tunon.
The court has a serious problem to address. Your conduct throughout this campaign has come into question, and you will answer for your actions.
So I think that since we killed them both ahead of time, we skipped that whole part about putting one of the Archons on trial and presenting all the evidence and all that. I think that all gets skipped now. And apparently his death didn't kill all the disfavored, because you just saw there were 3 disfavored right there that are still alive.
You have made quite a name for yourself, Fatebinder. Stories of your deeds have spread through the tiers, and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought.
The court has its own charges to present, and invites you to answer for yourself.
Am I on trial, Your Honor?
Yes, and I would ready yourself to form a defense, because your testimony could augur your doom.
Oh boy, here we go with the auguring again.
The trial begins now. I recommend that you treat these moments with deserving gravity, as they might be your last. Don't attempt to lie or evade answers. I will judge you in the objective eyes of our overlord. Is that understood?
I wonder if I can get a different... Does it sound like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs? Nice. All I'm doing when I do that stupid voice, I'm trying to make it echo a little bit, because there's some reverb on his voice in the actual game. When he actually does his voice, it's reverb. Now, I don't have an actual digital reverb effect to put on my voice at this point. So in order to make it echo a little bit, I'm just talking into an empty bottle. Well, it's not really fully empty. It's actually like half full of ice. And I'm putting my hand up to cup around part of it so that my voice just kind of echoes in there like this. Which I know probably sounds super stupid, but it's like the closest approximation I can get to, you know, an echoey Tunon voice. The best I can do, okay? This is low-budget streaming. Yes, Your Honor. Now this time I want to try real hard to actually get Tunon to find me not guilty. I want to see what happens if I can get found not guilty. Seems unlikely since I murdered a bunch of other Archons and shit, but you never know.
At least your civility remains intact.
So I'm not going to say anything sassy to him.
You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest, and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your station. Our directive to bring Kairos' peace to the tiers has suffered, and you will answer for the part you played.
I think he's going to find me guilty no matter what, though. If you don't mind, Adjudicator, we are on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require our input, we will add our voices as testimony. She nods to Rogalis and then turns to you with an unreadable expression.
The court has inquiries into your conduct. I first call your travel companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes. Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder?
Presumably it's still going to be Siren first talking about how awesome we are.
Siren, Archon of Song, give us your full report.
Siren loves us.
Of course, Your Honor. Your respect for a fellow Archon is duly noted. I thank you for asking me to add my input in this very delicate matter. I will endeavor to speak honestly and stick to the heart of the matter.
She makes a small curtsy and looks over at you.
After a lifetime of being degraded and humiliated for the amusement of others, the Fatebinder took an injured young woman and treated her as an equal. Her behavior is beyond reproach. There is no equal in my eyes.
This is the highest praise you receive from anyone through the entire game.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Now, maybe Verse will say something different this time, because this time our rep with Verse is higher than it was before. Who knows?
Scarlet Fury, you who sacrificed your old life for this one, step forward.
Me? As if the likes of me has any business speaking in a grand hall before the Archon. Why, I've murdered enough folk to stack their bodies up to the podium 10 times over. Your Honor, the Fatebinder and I get along like a couple of cats. We scratch here and there, but there's respect to be had. Sometimes I think we agree on too much, but can't fight everyone.
That's what she said last time.
I suppose I've had worse bosses, and I suppose I've had better friends. But this one's something special. I've killed for her, and I'd do it again.
That's what she said last time. That wasn't a "that's what she said" joke. That was me literally saying that's what she said.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Tidecaster, let yourself be known to the court.
The court wishes my testimony. Well then, I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and this room echoes a lot. It's very intimidating. I don't know what passes for glowing praise in this particular court, but the Archon gets my reluctant but uncoerced vote of confidence.
Reluctant? 95% to tier 5 loyalty. What do you mean reluctant? I'm rad is what you meant to say.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer her testimony. You entered the Old Walls, a clear violation of Kairos' law. How do you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the law?
Alright, he did not like answer number 2 last time. Not at all. So I'm not going to say answer number 2 this time. I'm going to say... Obviously number 3 is terrible. So I'm going to have to go with number 1 this time and see how that works out for me. Circumstances took me there, Your Honor, not greed. Are circumstances the best defense you can muster? Because no one in this court has allowed circumstances to lead us to unlawful conduct. Rogalis crosses his arms. Yeah, she's probably still annoyed by the Tidecaster's sacrifice to Narat thing. You're right, Noxmoo. She said at one point when we talked to her earlier in the game, she was like, I am never going to forgive or forget that. And I'm like, okay. Probably would have been the same thing with Siren if I'd made Siren kill the baby. That probably would have really reflected poorly on me. Tunon weighs the matter while studying you in silence.
At Vendrian's Well, you joined with the enemies of Kairos, abandoning your orders to resolve the siege and the conflict between the armies. How do you answer for this charge?
It also bears mentioning that you were not tasked with satisfying the Overlord's edict, only proclaiming it. Finding a solution was for the Archons to accomplish with martial force. Rogalis nods to Tunon. I think I said number 1 last time, and I don't think it went over super well. Number 2 is terrible. Number 3 is really questionable. Number 3 sounds great up until the very end, when I said, as I saw fit. That makes it sound fucking horrible. Come on, my character's a diplomat. I need more diplomatic dialogue options than these. I could answer these so much better than my character can here, I think. Number 3 is close to the right answer. But then it says, as I saw fit, makes it sound like you... I don't know, it just makes it sound like you overestimated your own authority or took power into your own hands or whatever. But that's the one we're going to go with. Because number 1 went badly, I think. No amount of mediation could get the Archons to work together, and the war only invited mayhem. I organized the tiers as I saw fit.
You fought alongside both armies during the conquest, so I shouldn't doubt your perspective on the matter, though I find it troubling. Kairos' edict at Vendrian's Well should have destroyed the Archons, or forced them to cooperate. But your intervention alone was the deciding factor.
Tunon appears deep in thought.
You granted control of Lethian's Crossing to the Bronze Brotherhood, a mercenary rebel that lost all right to the city during the Haven campaign. Explain yourself.
Clearly the Fatebinder had exhausted all possible allies and needed the assistance of enemies in order to maintain order. A sad state of affairs. Alright, I said number 1 last time, and I feel like number 1 was a decent answer, right? I don't think I got a negative response on number 1 last time. 2 and 3 seem terrible. I think I gotta go with number 1 again. The Brotherhood were the only allies who could maintain order. They learned much since the campaign.
Time will tell if you're right. This was a gamble at best, one that put a critical region in jeopardy. You resolved Kairos' Edict of Storms with a legal contrivance. What's more, you spared Stalwart's ruling bloodline, circumventing the Edict's very purpose. Did you think the Overlord's fury was a riddle for you to unravel?
Alright, last time, obviously, I picked number 3. Went with the 77 lore. But I don't think that's a good thing to say. I don't think that went over well. So, I think number 1's decent. I think number 1 is good. Hopefully. Number 1's okay. Kairos didn't intend for the edict to last forever. The will of Kairos is ours to enforce, not to interpret. Rogalis aims a severe look in Tunan's direction. Alright, I think that's an asinine statement, Faithbinder Rogalis. It has to be our role to interpret it. If it was not open to if there was no need to interpret it, you wouldn't need Fatebinders. You wouldn't need Tunon as a judge. You wouldn't need people to make decisions between two contradictory ideas. That's interpreting the laws of Kairos to the situation. If it didn't need to be interpreted, then every single case that could ever come up would automatically have one obvious right possible answer every time, and no one would need a fucking judge to handle it. No, I think that's dumb, Faintbinder Rogalis. I don't appreciate your bullshit, Faintbinder Rogalis. And I don't appreciate the fact that you won't stick around to let me kick your ass when the fighting starts.
No, indeed, but there were conditions to be met, and you cheated them. You subverted the Overlord's will to suit your design. That cannot be tolerated.
Alright, he didn't like that.
Ever since you arrived at the Tiers, you have proven stubbornly tight-lipped.
See, this one pisses me off because it's not true. And Unbending Spirit, how's it going? Good to see ya. Good to see ya, Unbending.
Your speech is often stilled as if by some great terror or apprehension.
Not true.
Can you even answer for this anomaly, or are you too simple to manage it?
Alright, number 3 is solid. He liked number 3 last time. In my dispensation of justice, I find it most useful to let others do the talking, while I observe and allow them to incriminate themselves. That is as ridiculous an excuse as I've ever...
No. Callio, I'm going to allow this. That is a better justification than I had suspected. Thank you for satisfying my curiosity.
Although it irritates me, because that wasn't supposed to... That wasn't supposed to be there. I didn't glare at anybody silently.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tiers to sow discord in your wake, or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
Maybe you were supposed to return to Tunon between missions, but the game would have signaled that to you, I feel like. And it didn't. Alright. Last time I said 5, which was a bad idea. Too sassy. Way too sassy. I need to come up with the most diplomatic answer this time. Obviously, number 1 sucks. Number 2 could be okay. Number 3 could be good. Number 4 is terrible. 5 is terrible, and 6 is terrible. So it's between 2 or 3. And... I'm thinking 3. thinking 3, because it makes me sound extra loyal to Kairos. I joined this conquest for the glory of Kairos, Seraphina says, lying. But I'm less certain that the Archons did for the same reason.
It's possible, even likely, that the Archons traveled south with their own agendas. I make no secret of the fact that the more worthy of the two would have inherited the tiers to rule as their domain under Kairos, and ambition got the better of them both. They were expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner, as were you.
So number 2 might have been better than number 3. How's it going, Heaven's Dark Edge? Good to see you again. I went with 3. Apparently 2 is what everybody in the chat thinks would have been better, but I didn't see that until after I'd already picked 3. Although I don't think it's going to matter in this case. I think because of the wrath I had with Tunon going in, I think he's going to find me guilty no matter what my answers are here. Oh, he just said something positive about me. He didn't say something positive about me last time. Conduct aside, the fact that the Archon's corruption is an assumed fact speaks to the success of this Fatebinder's mission. I don't know about the rest of you. He glances toward the other Fatebinders. But I find that mildly encouraging. Hey, he didn't say this last time, so that's a good sign.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
Attack! No. What did I say last time? I said number 1 last time. Which seems like the best one. Number 2, there's no way. Number 3 and 4 and 5 are also super fucking terrible. If you don't want to piss him off. So I have to go with number 1 again. It's the only reasonable one. Though I have ever strived to bring peace and order to this shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle, and well worth the struggle.
The way you frame it, the conquest sounds like a matter of true personal investment. Most curious. After weighing the charges, this court finds you guilty of all charges.
What a surprise.
It is this court's opinion that you are a seditious mastermind, a scheming derelict, and a traitor bent on sowing the destruction of the Northern Empire. The sentence is death.
Yeah, I think that Tunon Wrath 4 pretty much doomed me from the start. Asking about the mask? Bad idea. Bad idea. Although, it fits. This outcome fits the most logically with the path that I took through the game. And the motivations and intentions of my character. I really am not loyal to Tunon and Kairos. I really was rebelling. I really, you know what I'm saying? So, actually, killing Bled and Mark and Tunon is the correct thing, the correct way for this character's story to end. So, actually, it would have been inappropriate for me to have been found not guilty in this case. We should see about that, Adjudicator.
Hubris in the face of annihilation. My court and the world at large are better rid of you, wretched thing. Blood and Mark, execute her.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be guilty on the wildcard playthrough. Blood and Mark emerges from the shadows behind you. He steps forward with purpose, his daggers drawn. I'll say nothing and prepare to fight. Tunon has sentenced you to death for your actions in the Tiers. You must defeat him and Blood and Mark to claim the Tiers as your own.
You have no...
You go. I'll tear your scalp.
Alright, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. He's immune to stun, so I might as well not even bother to try to stun him.
out my ass.
He's immune to prone as well. Of course he is. Shadow Wave. Oh, he just vanished. He's also immune to taunt, so I might as well not try to taunt him.
Not happening.
Happening with her. What do I want to use on him? He's immune to a lot of shit. A little bit obnoxious. I think Rhyme Spike's still the best single target damage I've got. Let's use Jaws of Earth just to get some bleeding on him if we can. And let's throw the healing aura on myself. First, get in here and skewer.
You got it.
Tab, move away. Siren, move back a little bit. First, skewer. Alright, now we'll go ahead and blast him with another Rhyme Spike. And we'll go ahead and Energy Shield on Verse. We'll go ahead and Icicle Storm does a pretty good amount of damage.
You got it.
Let's hit him with another Icicle Storm. A Fulmination. Verse is just gonna keep pounding away. We can't knock him prone, so... How much damage does this do? Quite a bit. Actually, never mind. I don't want to do that. Let's just put some buffs on. Let's put Mantle of Flames on Verse. How did Siren get a wound already? That's weird. Alright, that... Ball Lightning next. Night Brand. Healing Aura's going off here, so I'll get them in that. Army of Storms. Let's use that again. He's almost dead, apparently. I think he's gonna heal himself through some shady means, though, any second now. I think another... Jaws of the Earth would be fine. Oh, we got him. We got him. We got him! Hold on, what's going on in my chat? It's now scrolled down past... you know, right to kill my executioner. If you resist asking about his mask, he might be cool with you. That's true, Saito. And my next character will resist asking about his mask. Yeah, you're right, Saito. It doesn't speak so well to his supposed even-handedness. But see, this is the outcome that I wanted, so actually my choice was appropriate for this playthrough. Actually, it seems like it'd be really boring if he finds you not guilty. Because then, like, the game just ends, you don't get the 2 final boss fights, you just, okay, you're not guilty, I guess roll credits. I mean, what? That sounds a little bit lame. Maybe he has the mother of all cold sores hidden behind that mask, super insecure about it. Okay. Blood and Mark. Golden, glowering eyes, wide with surprise, the Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me. This brightness.
The ball lightning is still bouncing around.
My headsman. His life was not yours to take.
Behind Tunon's anger, you detect a more subtle reaction. Disbelief.
This is your end, student. No mercy for traitors. Only the cold embrace of the grave.
I'm going to repeat my line. We shall see, Adjudicator. Alright, you defeated Blood and Mark. Your power has increased, but nobody leveled up. Alright, time to fight Tunon again for the last time. Pretty exciting. But that is going to be in our next episode. If you're watching the stream, don't worry, I'm not done. I'm going to keep on playing. But if you're watching on YouTube, that brings us to the end of this episode. And presumably there will be one more episode in this playthrough. So come back and join me for that. This has been Josiah Plays Tyranny.